Oh, Santos!
Oh!
What a
Oh
move!
my God!
What a move!
What the freaking hell was that?
Save it. Yes, he is. Good boy.
Muno
Good
realizes he's on for a podium if he just relaxes here. It's a last lap.
Oh, but he's gone.
Oh!
He could be
And
gone for a year.
no, Muno doesn't listen. Muno doesn't care.
But not
He's
getting
a
it, and he's
sneaky
got it.
Mexican, and he sends it round the outside. Cody and Essingham. Ooh, 3-second time penalties. Oh, they're 3 wide. Oh, I can't look. Boys. Oh, BM's just sent it. Touched wide.
BM.
Around the outside. He is. PG.
Oh, he's got a penalty for his
PG. What a move. Yarno, clip that.
Oh, he's going for another.
Oh, holds it around the outside. Oh no, this is
Still there. Still side by side. Oh, take there with
Toddy
the balls.
keeps it in front. But who? Chunky's on superpositions here. Majala and Greenbit's going at it. And down the inside comes Storm. Oh, he holds it. They hold it.
They're still going. Still. And then he's got the inside line for here. And he's managing, holding it. Keeping space, but not giving them too much space. Vono risking it.
He's going around the outside.
Oh, what a move!
He's made a
What a
move
move!
on the Alpha Tauri.
Oh, now they're going to go 3 wide. Oh, they're 3 wide. The hat's in the middle.
He's made it through both of
Oh, the
them.
Red Bull's coming.
The Cyber Husky with the fastest lap on the softs, of course. Expecting nothing less. Cheeseman trying to go up the inside of Christopher Tag. Oh, around the outside. Oh, he makes it stick. Oh, can he go to the outside? Tristan Fragtime breaks early. Up the inside goes Noodles. Crazy good overtake. Coming around for Rapid Vono now.
For Noodles on the outside. Noodles holds it in around the outside. If you don't mind, Josie takes the lead with 2 laps to go. He's definitely got wing damage. He has his front wing paint is gone. Reedy is smelling blood. Can he get him up on the inside? Oh, thank you, Cody's finally a good camera angle. Oh, great pass from Reedy. He's in the P1 on his debut.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Same situation with Daft earlier on.
Let's get goats. Oh, but he holds it. Oh, what a move. What a move.
Confidence there. Momentum. Who Daft go for the move on Noodles. Can he play it around the outside? Oh, and Who jumps up the inside. Oh, Who Daft.
Trying to get in front of Daft. Now, Daft, all Daft needs to do is stay 3 seconds. What's Rupert doing? Oh my God.
Is he gonna this? Yarno. Oh! That is how you do it.
Oh, Santos!
Oh!
What a
Oh
move!
my God!
What a move!
What the freaking hell was that?
Save it. Yes, he is. Good boy.
Muno
Good
realizes he's on for a podium if
Hello. Welcome to Division 1. Just wait for my audio to come through. There we go. Welcome to Division 1 of Rapid Euro. And we've got a few cars that have already made their way out on track. And we'll be looking to set a lap time very shortly. Let's get a few bits and bobs set up as Rapid managed to spin it around. Here's coming around. Start a lap. Rapid Con then will be the first driver to pop a lap time on the board for us. So we'll see what he does coming through the chicane. Manages not to invalidate. Down the main straight. Coming across the line goes. 111.089 to get us underway. Got a few cars on their hot laps then, as Failing Tomcat will be the second driver to set a lap time for us. And we still have a car just popping out the way, that's S-Winger, just staying out the way of the Alpha Tauris that are running in tandem. Failing Tomcat then, coming into the chicane, right up against the wall, comes across the line to pop himself with a 1:12.3. Couple of a bit of work to do there for him. Alpha Tauris then off to start their laps, as S-Winger also Big Cactus, sorry, has set a lap of a 1:11.4. The other Alpha Tauri is off on his run, just moving out of the way of the Mercedes of Rapid Jack there. And you've got the other Alpha Tauri just moving out of the way. Jack is on an out lap, so he will want to get out of the way of Rapid Daz here. And, oh, he's invalidated, so that won't be any problem there. As Cyber Husky is still in the pits, and Cyber Husky is the usual I will exit the pit lane first kind of guy. Rapid Bajala in the chat. Go Kimmy from the Victoria's Street Secrets models. I'm not 100% sure Victoria's Secret is even a thing anymore, because there was so much. I mean, it still exists as a shop, but I'm not quite sure about the models. I think they kind of died down that sort of part of the operation due to some shenanigans going on. Right, Jack starting his flying lap. Can he avoid the dreaded invalidation? We know how what Jack and track limits are like. Can he keep it valid? And can he make a fast lap as well? We'll just come up to the back of S-Winger, who's just on his in lap. He's just coming around the corner now, and that is Jack well on his way. Toddy has managed to get himself back into the lobby. Jack through the chicane there, coming down the hill, and then we brake hard for the hairpin. And if you're running a crappy Thrustmaster like what I have, you've got to be very careful not to have your steering jump on the hairpin there. Mr. Bajala, if you're still in the chat, can you let me know if I'm sounding alright, and or if anybody else is there? Oh, and Jack cuts the corner drastically there and has invalidated his lap on the last chicane. If you're gonna invalidate, don't do it there, because you're invalidating two laps in one go. And he'll just cruise around for the pits now, as Mushy is coming through sector 2. We'll be looking to make a good brake into the hairpin. Turns it in, hits the apex. A little bit lacking on the power. Now we're getting down the double main straight. You've got the main straight, then you've got the god-awful chicane, Wall of Champions, and he slides it around the chicane, and across the line he comes. Still good enough for fifth, I won 11.649. See, Jack's still invalidated, so he will be coming in the pits, I would have thought, unless he's fueled for enough to go around. Cyber Husky purple in the first sector. We'll see how true that is once we get further around the lap. So just ahead of him, I believe, is El Drago, and then you've got the Alpha Tauri going slow. Rapid Jack to start another lap. Purple second sector again. Purple for a second sector for El Drago. As Cyber Husky also did purple in the second sector, so we'll just have to watch to see who, which driver has the legit purples. El Drago just pulls into the pits there, and Cyber Husky should go for the chicane. Cuts it, but not too much. Around the final corner, down the main straight we come, across the line. What can he go? He does a 1:11.156. Good enough for fourth at the moment, and I'm sure he'll be looking to improve a good couple of tenths on his couple of runs. Rapid Daz has retired from the session. Just a reminder, this is full quali, so this is only Q1. So set a time and you're safe, essentially. Jack and track limits don't exist. It's why we call the 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Multiple warnings, I must copyright that, because that was me that came up with it, and it is certainly being used far afield. So, well, not that far afield, because you have to know who Vono is, but I am the founder of that phrase, and I will take all royalties associated with it. Rapid Toddy invalidated coming through the hairpin. Neo Clark coming down the hill towards the hairpin. Gets it turned in. I'm just going to ignore these purples that come up because I don't think they are true. Neo Clark then pounding it down the, I don't know what you call it, the back straight or the first half of the main straight. Back straight's probably the other DRS zone on the other side. Across the line he goes. What time can he set? He goes fastest with a 1:10.865. So just under 2 tenths faster than Rapid Daz. See how they all get on once we get into the other qualifying sessions. Connor W should be able to set quite a reasonable lap time here. Toddy looking to make the most of this lap as well as he comes down into the hairpin. Get it turned in nicely, hit the fastest lap. W Turner 1:10.749. Are one of the new drivers here, popping in a 1:10.749. Toddy just avoiding penalties for chopping the corner, comes down the main straight, crosses the line. It's 11th with a 1:12.155. You've got an Aston coming across the line. Where can he pop himself? Goes third fastest with a 1:10.966. So Neo Clark is splitting the two Astons at the moment. Gangabir, Ganagmar, then through sector 2 into sector 3, down into the hairpin. What can he do here? He looks to be going quite gently, but he's definitely not winding himself up for a lap because that ERS is on its way out. So he must be on a lap here or coming into the pits. Into the pits it is. Rapid Toddy's going very slowly here. There's nobody anywhere near him, so he doesn't need to be moving out the way. So I'm just wondering if he was just having a check or something there. I'll just double check my stream is working okay. It seems to be lagging on my light stream, but we'll just hopefully just double check that just to see if everything's going on. Okay, he's just pulling off to the side. I don't know why he's going so... Oh, he'll be wanting to get his ERS back up. That's what he's doing here. 79% to get you around on a lap. That should be just about doable. Off he goes. And he's lost it at turn 1-2. It's not even wet and he's managed to lose it. He's done a George Russell at turn 1. Or not quite, but there's a Ferrari just getting in the way. Is that Mushy in the way of one of... Is that Jack that's just been held up there by Mushy going through turns 1s and 2s. Not sure what's going on there. Are they? Well, if he's on a lap, then he's on a lap. If they're both on laps, then it is what it is, I guess. They're both using ERS, so they must both be on laps. So there's no necessity to move out the way of the other driver if you're on a lap yourself. However, they are just coming up to Toddy, who is going redonkulously slowly. So we can just stay out of the way of these two cars coming up behind him. Jack will be having the monster toe down the straight though, and he just needs to make sure he gets this chicane smoothly and doesn't chop it like that. Jack, you plonker. Don't chop the entry. If you're going to do anything, be late on the entry and just deal with going a little bit slowly through the corner. Mushy moves out of the way, Jack goes round again. If you chop that chicane, you will invalidate both laps and you are well and truly on your way to not getting the second time. Mushy then is in 9th with a 1:11.3. I don't think he improved there. Connor W retires from session as he's comfortable that he is through to Q2. So Jack and Spinala, the two Mercedes, yet to set a time as Alpha Tauri of Cyber Husky just comes through, and I would assume I would hope he wasn't on a lap. Looks like he's just on an in lap. He's just finished his lap because his ERS is rock bottom. RT Rapid Con has binned it. You could say he was just getting out of the way, but you don't need to be pointing backwards to get out of the way. So he's back underway, and being Q1, we're only going to drop one driver from this session to go through to Q2. If you bin it, you will not be going through to Q2, then you would only have 14. So you just need to make sure that, or if you bin it, make sure you've set even if you set a reasonable time, if you bin it, you still have. So it's the fight of the Mercedes as to who can set a time to squeeze them into Q2. Make sure it's valid. So Spinala sets a valid time of a 1:29.9. Jack just needs to set a valid, slightly faster time. So he's got 1:20. He's only got a tiny drizzle of ERS left. So he'll just come across the line here. If he just makes sure this is valid, he should beat the 1:29.9 enough to get Spinala, but Kitch probably would. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that Kitch is on for beating that time, which could mean that failing Tomcat could potentially be looking at getting bumped down, and he is, I think that just said 7 seconds on his delta there, wasn't? Oh no, he's 0.2 up, that's fine. So he should jump Jack, and Jack is pointing the wrong way, so as long as failing Tomcat can finish with a couple of tenths off of his time, he should be good to go. Spinala goes P10 with a 1:11.3, which will see him through to Q2. And we'll see what happens down here with failing Tomcat coming out of the hairpin down the back straight. He's coming, still got plenty ERS left. Now he just needs to make sure he doesn't chop the chicane. Turn it in. Oh, that was very close to chop. And down the main straight we come, and across the line, a 1:11.9 pops Jack into the drop zone, and he has no chance of improving. RRT Rapid Jack will be your driver out in Q1, with Rapid Toddy scraping through P15. We'll go on to Q2, probably looking for a better session to get himself up the order. Pops it into the pit lane. Just wait for a few drivers to get themselves sorted out, and then we will be on our way to Q2. We'll just watch Spinala's car get pushed away. There you go. So the curse of the invalidated laps strikes again for Rapid Jack, and he will be starting at the back. And there we go. So your dropped cars, P16 RRT Rapid Jack, nobody binning in the wall, so all 15 other drivers will be going through to Q2. And apparently I have no viewers. Either that or my viewers... No, I have 2 viewers, apparently. There we go. Oh, you can hide it for some reason. Why would you want to hide the number? 2 viewers, Rapid Bajala and probably me, I would assume is the way that works. So if you're watching this back and you're thinking, oh, I wonder how many people were watching this. Answer's 2. So I don't think we'll bother with a poll. Fortunately, the Euro drivers can watch the Aussie races, but trying to wake up a bunch of Aussies to watch a European race is probably not going to ever happen. So we're always going to be the have the bum deal with the viewership. But luckily we have it all under one umbrella, so it all balances out at the end of the day. At the end of the day. Right, a few cars popping out on track now. Cyber Husky managed to be the first one. I don't. So it's a Haas at the front leading us out. It is RRT Rapid Con is leading us out on our out lap. Tucked in behind is the car of Rapid Toddy. And Mushy just a little bit further back. And now a Aston Martin of Connor W1535 has arrived on track. New drivers appearing on track are El Drago, Feeling Tomcat, Gnagma. That's about it. So, RT Rapid Con and Toddy. Toddy will just start to back off the back of Con here, just so he doesn't have any chance of getting in either buddy's ways. Mushy warming his tyres down the back straight, or the first main straight, or the long straight. Long straight. RRT Rapid Con then on his flying lap comes through turns 1 and 2 and possibly 3 through the chicane of Sebastian Vettel. That's the way it goes, and he span it. He's popped the back end out, and that's gonna be that lap well and truly off the table. We'll just get these bits and bobs back up again, because they always seem to like. So Con and Toddy has also binned it, span it after the chicane under the little bridgey bit. Just needs to stay out of the way. Yeah, just one of the Aston Alpha Tauris even coming. Alpha Romeo's coming through. And please He's just in behind him. You have El Drago on a flying lap here. He shouldn't catch anybody. It is a short lap here, but weirdly there is just about enough space to stay away from each other. You don't have any of these horrific weird corners that bunch you all up too much. So a couple of times on the board. Mushy 111.177, Connor 111.471, Rapid Con, I'm going to park it backwards, 118, Rapid Toddy, Spinala 130.9. Spinala is still in the pits. Oh, there we go. Oh, and he's lost the wheel, so that's him DNF'd. That's one driver not making it through to Q3 as Rapid On has managed to keep his car going. Toddy is just slightly precariously on the exit of that corner, but he does remove them pretty swiftly. Ganagmer coming through there. W Turner 110.735, so only 4 and a bit tenths up on the machine. So that gap should be able to be closed by other drivers and machine on his next couple of outings. Got a couple of Alpha Tauris coming around the track as Daz is just backing off, letting the Williams come through there. Cactus on a lap through. Oh, and his back end lets go a little bit on the exit of that chicane down into. Oh, this is the tight chicane. There we go. That's the tight chicane. Then the exit down the hill. Get the power down. Full beans down into the hairpin. Get your braking point right. Too easy to go deep at the hairpin. Round. Use the curb on exit. Right over to the right hand side to the white line, straight line it as much as possible, down we go, a little bit of undulation in the road, a little bit down and then back up again, into the hairpin, and he's got away with that very nicely there. Across the line he comes to set a time of a 111.423, as we just have one of the Williams popping across the line there. S-Winger goes fastest with a 110.719, and Rapid Daz, invalidated lap time, should just probably be popping it into the pits. Takes out the pit board for no reason. And that is Kimmy's invalidated Con on a lap here. He's coming straight into the pits, as is probably Kimmy. And Agmer into the pits. Yes, he is. We've got a Mercedes of Spinala coming through the chicane, just about to start his lap now. So, riding on board here with Spinala, coming through into turn 1 we go. If that's turn 1 or turn 2, who knows. Around the corner we go into the Vettel Hamilton chicane, gets it tucked in using all the curbs on the exits, then into the next chicane, long left, then chop it back to the right, use the exit, get the power down, then it's straight in that line as much as possible under the little bridge through the next chicane. You've got to keep that rear steady on exit and get the power down into the hairpin. Slow in and fast out. Get the power down all the way over to the right hand side. Kiss this right hand corner, then drift to the left. Pick your braking point into the final chicane. Wall of Champions, get it turned in. Nicely done, and this should see him in top 7. A 111.609. I was expecting that a little bit further up, but he maybe just a little bit slower on the traction out of the hairpin, maybe, is what I noticed. Maybe, potentially. Daz going slow, so he's just building up to a lap now, weaving left and right. Connor W is on a lap, maybe? Are you on a lap, Connor W? Looks like it. Down the long straight through the final chicane. You can seem to get away with chopping that first corner a little bit by the looks of it. It goes fastest, 110.684. Not too shabby indeed. Neo Clark is invalidated, so he will have to try and get himself round again. RRT Rapid Con through Sector 1. Really using the track to his advantage here. Bring it into the left. RT Rapid Con originally not, and what? That's a bit of a late bail. That's not the most helpful moving out the way there, Mr. Neo Clark, but we'll get out of the way eventually. On a W. Down the... Gnagmer is on a lap. Failing Tomcat has just started his lap. Seems to be going somewhat strongly. Getting the power down now. Daz, is Daz on a lap here? His engine sounds just really throw you because it sounds like they're going so slow. But I think he is on a lap here. Clark won't be. Daz through the chicane. Up down the hill. Tomcat's just following him through. 2 seconds behind him on the road. Daz just a little hesitant to get on the power there. So, ball busting time coming into the chicane. Oh, really jumping those curbs on the final chicane. Across the line it goes. P5, a 111.020. So pretty fast on the track. Failing Tomcat. Oh, he's invalidated at some point there. Must have been on the final chicane. And he really needs to get himself round to get a fresh pair of set of boots on to try and get himself up in the mix for Q1, Q3 even. Neo Clark sat in the pits, so hopefully he can get himself out on track shortly. Gnagmer looking to set a lap time. Can he start a flying lap now? It is valid now, so into turn 1 we come. A left-hander sweep round to the right, don't let the back end step out. Put the power down, keep it nice and smooth. Inputs, then you've got the tight chicane through on the exit, hit the apexes or the curbings there. Then you've got a kind of sustained S-style chicane there. Down the back, not so straight. Slight bend to the right, coming into the next chicane with a bit of undulation here. Really ramps up on exit, then up to the peak of the hill, and then drop back down again into the hairpin. Get it tucked into the right hand side. Don't be afraid to use too much of the left hand side. Then you're getting the power down close to the right, and then drift over to the left to prepare yourself for the final chicane. And we're going to see him brake and turn in, just making it smooth, not trying to chop too much off. Across the line he goes. 11.5, pretty sure that's where he was before. And And Neo Clark on an outlap. Failing Tomcat is still in the pits. Is this him just about to come out now? Yes, so he's just coming out now. He's got a minute 50 to get himself around on his outlap, which is not an issue. So Neo Clark on track, ramping up for his hot lap, coming through the first chicane then, and the two cars behind him are on their outlap, so he doesn't have to worry about anybody catching him, although he is on a hot lap, so he shouldn't get caught. Down the back, slightly straight, slightly not straight, into the chicane under the bridge, undulation, exit down the hill, into sector 3, hairpin, power on exit, ooh, get that power down, ooh, get the power down, get the power down. Failing Tomcat looking just to start his lap here. There's still 50 odd seconds, so you might just see El Drago just going to lift up. He is far enough away from Failing Tomcat. As Neo Clark goes fastest at 1:10.678. Failing Tomcat and El Drago just going to start their laps here. And I'm not quite sure why I moved off of Neo Clark there. A little bit of that. Just coming around for a final lap. Crossing of the line. Big Cactus. Jazz is on that lap. Big Cactus is on a flyer. So just have a little gander of the offboard because we've had quite a bit of onboard. Just have a nice little watch of the offboard coming down the. I really want to call it the back straight because it's back straight is the main first half of the main straight. Big Cactus across the line sees the checkered flag. The checkered flag goes 1:11.105. Just ahead of Mr. Espinala, and we've got Failing Tomcat goes P12, so that will see him not into Q3. El Drago only managing a 1:11.9. Just wondering whether something there with Tomcat might put El Drago off, or maybe something else happened there just to put the drivers off. Neo Clark sat in the pit lane. So we should be done and dusted. Just wait for the blankets. There we go. And that is Q2. And we will be heading into Q3 shortly. And I'm going to open my drink. So your drivers knocked out in that session are, holy smokes, I didn't realise he was knocked out. Mr. Kimi Räikkönen has been knocked out in Q2. The reigning, or the current championship leader has been knocked out in Q2, just ahead of Gnagmer, then Failing Tomcat, El Drago, and Mr. Rapid Toddy P15. That is that just goes to show you like the caliber of pretty much most of the drivers in this division, that some big names are getting bumped out in Q2. So on to Q3 we go then. Oh, I now have 3 viewers. Hello to the person that has just started watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know some people like to moan about having really low viewers, but most of our viewership comes from people watching it afterwards, so it's not the end of the world that I don't have people watching. If you're watching this back and you weren't racing, why didn't you watch it live? You could have joined in with the chat. You type things in the chat, I read them out, I react to them, you know. Get a little bit of call and response going on. Couple of drivers coming out on pits. Has Husky done the Husky? Husky has done the Husky. He is the first car on track. He's managed to reclaim his the standard huskiness of being first car out on track. This time Connor W is the one following him out. Then we have Swinger, his third car on track. Daz, fourth car on track. Then we've got Mushy Rapid Con, and then it'll be Neo, Clark, and Turner as Spinala. And then eventually maybe Cactus might be interested in getting out on track at some time, maybe if he decideth to. And there we go, Rapid Husky, oh there's a floor back. Cyber Husky 24, still hasn't changed his name back to what it should be. Comes round the first couple of corners here. And we have lost our bits and bobs, so we'll just get them back on. And through we go. Our little they've moved their logo. Anyways, Husky through the chicane, down the hill. Really pushing here. Needs to set a good opening lap time. Of course, Q3 is a little bit of a shorter session than the other sessions. So you really do have to make the most of the time available. You can get the 3 runs in if 3 runs in. 3 runs in Q3. Could be able to. Usually it's just the 2. Oh, he's invalidated over the final curb. Oh god, he's spent too much time watching Jack there, and he's bumped it over the curbs. I know who my third viewer was. It was probably... Oh, he's lost it round turn 1. He was on an invalidated lap anyway. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get in the way of the other cars here. Headswinger had just finished the lap anyway, as has Daz, so Husky can get himself underway again. Mushy has popped in a 110.9, so we're currently 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got the straight of lap times. Just need somebody with a pop it in with a 110.4 and then a 110.3, and then have that all set. Swinger, Mushy almost with a 111 really, a 110.995, and there's your 111.1. So that's essentially call that a 111. That's a 111.1. Get a 111.2 and a 111.3. What happened there? I've just seen a little green dot jump from the track to the pit lane. I think a reset to track would have done that. It's doing it with all of them. I think when they hit the pit lane, it's just buzzing my mini-map slightly. Turner invalidated, so not setting a lap. G coming down, ooh, and late bail into the pits there. I'm not quite sure. They're all coming in, so whether you've set a lap or not, you're pulling it into the pits. Big Cactus here, out of sync with the rest of the drivers. Coming, oh, there's a Haas stricken there. Is that Connor? And can he get it underway? Yes, he's spinning it. Don't drive backwards too far or you will DSQ. I think you've been DSQ'd anyway. Is that why you've stopped? Yeah, no, you're gonna get DSQ'd. You're gonna get DSQ'd. Is he gonna get away with it? I don't know why he's stopping and starting. Does that stop you from getting DSQ'd? Wow, he was well over the other side of the barrier, so quite impressive to get that back into the pit lane. Not quite sure it was the ideal to be driving your car backwards along the road to then swing it into the pit lane, but there was no other cars around. Benefit of the doubt, but he was well and truly past a little bit on the dodgy side. Big Cactus pulling it into the pit lane as he's popped his time. He's done our 110.4. Totally missed that while we were dealing with Mr. Con. So we do have our 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost a 10. Then you've got your our 11 flat and then our 11.1. If Mushi was just a few thousandths slower, that's the perfect set. But at last, we are where we are. Husky, can he set a 110.3 and Turner a 110.2? Do you reckon? They might be able to set their times before anybody else sets a time. Ruins it. Connor is on a lap ahead of Turner, so we might just spoil our little plan. Husky then, is he the one we're looking at? I believe so. So, ooh, a little front wing action on the off-board's camera, which is an off-board. On-board. There we go, there's the off-board. And down into the hairpin we go. Gets it turned around, doesn't lose the back end on exit. Down the main straight, still got plenty ERS to play with, keeping it pounding down this pre-straight, in through the chicane, keeps it valid, cross the line, he will come. And he goes fourth with a 110.722. And just about enough time. I don't think there's enough time to go in and out. Maybe. Might get away with it if he does want to go for another lap. It's a solid lap nonetheless. Turner with a 110.398. So Connor is ahead of his teammate here. And methinks Connor was sandbagging until his teammate arrived, because Connor in our first couple of races, I don't think he was he up there? No, not really. Azerbaijan is 0, Monaco he didn't attend, Miami he's got 2 points, and Imola didn't get that many points either. So it is what it is. You make me live. So all S-Winger splits the Astons there as well. And everybody is in the pits. Mr. Espinala on his outlap. Coming through 100% on the ERS. Getting the DRS on. Little Haas boy. Oh, he's stuck. What's going on here then? Not even slow. He's got full ERS. Is he just gonna coast this round for this lap? Go the next lap. Attempt to get the optimum pinnacle of track temperature and rubbered in. This Dazzy boy, 110.287. Where was that when I needed it for my straight? In here, a 110.287 pops it on P1 to begin with. We'll see if anyone else improves. So Daz is done for today as he slides it into the side, and hopefully that does not impede speed. He's got full battery as well. Oh, he's definitely on an outlap. Okie dokie. They're all on outlaps. Daz is doing Dazzy things. Cactus comes through. Espinala. Still doing. Surely he's gonna go this time. Off we go, underway with Espinala on his flying lap. Mishy's not on a flying lap. Oh, he's on the flying lap now. And Spinala's just behind him, so we'll just stay on board with Mishy here and see if he can bounce up the order. And Spinala might follow him. As just goes slowly to come. Oh, and Mishy has dropped it right in the nose of Spinala. Hopefully, Spinala can just kind of blank that off and just keep focused and keep going. As Con has also dropped it in the same part of the track. And we do have Husky just I think Husky has not been too put off by that, as it was a stationary car and not just a kind of rolling stationary car. But Daz has seen the checkered. Connor W is on a lap at the moment, just coming through sector 2. Espinala is going to cross the line. What time can he do? Is it good enough? It's good enough for 8 for a 1:10.793. Mushy pulls into the pits. Sliber Husky on a lap coming through the chicane. Holds on to it, going really fast through the chicane, not letting off too much. 7th goes to 6th, jumps Rapid Con. And we've got coming through Cactus. Down the main straight we come. Can he cross the line and improve? He goes fastest with a 1:10.240. Immediately beaten by Connor W with a 1:10.132. S-Winger Neo Clark goes third faster with a 1:10.275. So all change. W Turner then finishes and jumps. Does he jump to the top? Oh, what does he do? Did he jump to the top? He jumps to second, also with a 1:10.1. So the two Aston Martins, 1:10.132 and a 1:10.147. Blocking off the front row. Then you've got the Alpha Tauri of RRT Big Cactus in third with a 1:10.240. Neo Clark of the Williams in fourth. Rapid Daz P5 for the other Alpha Tauri in one with a 1:10.287. S-Winger Husky P7, Con P8, Spinala P9. Mushy there, just dropping it on his final run, rounds us out in 10th. And a little break for a few minutes, just for people to sort themselves out, get their setups on, look at their tyre strategy, and it is pishing it down with rain. So what's the call here? It's peeing it down with rain. Is the track going to dry up over the course of the race? Probably likely. This game likes to do dynamic as dynamic. It's never peeing it down for the whole race. It tends to be gone within the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes, or 50-50. It's very kind of quarter, half, or 3/4. But it could rain, go dry, and then rain again at the end. I think I've seen that happen a couple of times on this game. Yeah, so does it look like wets or inters? There's big puddles on the track. You might get, the wets might give you a bit more grip off of the start for the first couple of laps, but then the Inters will take over pretty quickly. So you might want to budget. It's essentially like the hard versus medium, like wets versus Inters. Inters are going to be your ones that you want to be on in a couple of laps time, but maybe starting you want to be on the wets just to clear the water out the way. We'll just try and fish out the standings for you. 318, there we go. It is the 31st. Upload. Oh, it's already uploaded. Well, we'll upload it again because I can't be arsed looking for it. And there we go. That's the table for yous all. So at the moment we have Mr. Kimi Räikkönen at the top of the board with the 59 points. Tucked in behind is Neo Racer, and I've just... oh no, that's fine. Mushy in 4th, S-Winger 5th. Turner has already bumped himself up to 6th with his showing last week in Imola. And Cactus in 7th after missing the first 2 races as well, so not doing too badly there either. A lot of good drivers further down still waiting to pick up their points, and we'll just pop this out the way just so we can and also with the constructors, Williams ahead of Haas 86 to 77, Alfa Romeo not too far behind on the 70, and then a bunch of a couple other cars, 63 there for Ferrari, not too shabby either. Hide that and we'll just take a look at what tyres people have decided to pop on, and it's the full wet for everyone. So you've got the big puddles on the racetrack, you need to clear the water, and that's what the wet tyres are all about, really. If we were in Monaco, we would probably not be racing, and they would probably let us sit around for like half an hour until the weather cleared up a bit, and then we would all be on Inters. So, like, what's the point of the wet tyres in real life? But in the game, you actually use the wet tyres. So here we are, full grid wet tyres. How long before we jump onto the Inters? As Connor's left the circuit, and Turner just looking. I mean, do you warm up wet tyres? Are they not already kind of where they need to be? I guess you still need to warm up the rubber a little bit, but the contact patch on your wet tyre is you've got to keep those grooves, really. So if you're really brave, you could have started on the Inters, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, no, not with the puddles. I think the game has its kind of set. This weather is this weather is this weather is this, and this weather that we have is probably almost definitely designed specifically for the wet tyres. A couple of drivers just struggling to get themselves set up. Toddy time wasting a little bit at the back trying to get his car positioned. Rapid Jack with a bit of a tilt in there at the back. As we just move all the way to the front, Connor W on pole position, lights out, and off we go down to turn 1, tentative as you like, as he already gets beaten by Big Cactus into turn 1, getting absolutely smothered here. Rapid Daz popping in as well. Way out to the left hand side goes Connor W, very tentative in the wet weather here. Haas of Rapid Con popping up the inside as well. Can he get round the outside? On exit, he makes it. Can he keep it? Yep, he's ahead. Coming out of it, Husky then. Can Husky get past this Aston that seems to be struggling, as Connor has a wobble there. Rapid Con even has a wobble. Husky, can he make the most of this? I don't think so. Mushy is P11, Gunagmer. So Gunagmer, Mushy started P10, so this is pretty much as is. Turner's lost places to Daz. and Cactus. Goes deep. That allows Cactus back through. Cactus goes very wide on exit. Daz, looking at the back of them, decides, I do not want to be a part of this. And Turner right on the back of Cactus here. Cactus ahead into the braking zone. And Daz looking to make a move past Turner here, as Turner's gets a little bit of a tank slapper there and pops it into the wall slightly, and a couple of drivers just managed to sneak past. Now Turner is in behind RT Rapid Con. I wonder if he's just managed to pick up damage. No, he doesn't seem to. I wonder if Daz has either. He just glanced the back of him. No, he's fine as well. So Cyber Husky P6. Turner dropping down again, losing a couple more places as somebody there. Turner's he's still moving, but he's dropping a whole bunch of places here, as that's Toddy that has ended up near the back. Mushy here, P11 still, side by side with Turner, as Mushy goes for the escape road there, and Turner has been punted off to the side. El Drago gets past failing Tomcat as we're slowing it for the safety car, so you will just have to yield to his place there. Mushy as well, P14. I think in the grand scheme of things, Mushy surviving that incident, keeping left and using the runoff is the absolute utmost thing to do. Keeping it well out of the way, and whatever Turner did with his car is up to him. It is a VSC by the looks of it. I don't see a yellow dot, so we're looking at a VSC here, so we should be going green very shortly. The delta on this game is horrifically bad, so at the moment they might be able to go quite fast. I think it's just caught the delta and it's now giving them the opposite. You get like a very good delta, then it just drops like a stone, then you get a crap delta, and then it kind of evens off. And they've just had the crap delta, so they've all slowed to an absolute snail's pace, and now we're getting back to a reasonable safety car speed-ish, maybe. Just a couple of cars just struggling to keep themselves in a line. Oh, Kimi Ganagmer here. Sorry, Ganagmer just struggling. Oh, we're green. That's why he's trying to go. Pitch then, just losing out to Ganagmer here. And get your braking point correct. For is Kimi just... Jack just touched the back of Spinala there, maybe. Kimi just slightly yielding to Jack there, doesn't want to get involved with anything there. Failing Tomcat, looking to go around the outside. Potentially. Kimi with a little wobble on exit, leaves the door open for failing Tomcat. Kimi will just using the ERS to get back past. That failing Tomcat is glitching a little bit here. Alright, no, it would have been Kimi from onboard Kimi's car. Daz with the fastest lap there. P2 on the track. Ganagmer now fastest lap. P8, so he'll be making moves. Mushy making moves up the track as well. I guess it's just whoever had the most space in front of them on the restart got the best benefit there. Failing Tomcat then, still looking at the back of Kimi. Kimi's keeping touch with Spinala. Further ahead, S-Winger and Neo Clark, teammates in the Williams. Just getting caught up behind Cyber Husky here, who is just trying to keep his car on track and in one piece, which is not an issue. Ganagmer now joining in the little very tight train of cars as the two Williams going into the hairpin. Just want to be very careful. Oh, as one goes deep, the other one comes alongside. S-Winger just in behind Neo, and S-Winger loses, Neo loses it slightly there and goes into the wall, and S-Winger gets past Ganagmer, and Jack also make the benefit. Oh, and Neo right into the back of Jack there. It looked like he was on the brakes and he just couldn't get that car to stop, but I think he caused the safety car in himself, and then got a little bit caught out by it because all the cars ahead of him had slowed down for the safety car, and he was still kind of ploughing on because he's just recovered from an incident. So not paying attention there really. If Rapid Jack making the switch to inters, which is very interesting, ha ha ha. No. So he's in the pits. Failing Tomcat makes the switch to fresh wets. Toddy going for the inters as well. So Toddy and Rapid Jack might be struggling on these inters, maybe on the initial get-go, but that track does seem to be having a interline on a wet track, is what's best described as this. It is starting to get to the stage where the inters may be workable. Just need to stay well on the racing line though. You don't want to be moving off of that dark strip down the middle, because those puddles on either side will send you off like a absolute. And Rarity Rapid Jack picks up 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Failing Tomcat then is looking to catch up to the back of the pack here. And then we'll have one more lap of safety car, I think, and then we shall be Gucci. And I expect there to be more carnage on this safety car restart, as a couple of drivers may be feeling a little bit down in the dumps for losing out on a couple of positions, and might be interested in getting those positions back, and could potentially cause a little bit of a issue when doing so. So we've got cars back nose to tail as we're stuck in behind the safety car here. RRT Rapid Jack has caught the back of the pack. RRT Rapid Jack has caught the back of the pack. And Rapid Toddy will be trying to get himself there. Hopefully this doesn't mean that the safety car goes around again. Yeah, Toddy's going to get himself into Sector 2 while the rest of the cars are in Sector 2. I believe that may be the way the safety car kind of works. If you're in the same sector, when the safety car hits the Sector 3 line, then that's enough for the safety car to go, okay, the safety car will be in. When it's going to tell us this, who knows? There you go. So just as it comes down the main straight, it tells you that the safety car is coming in. So Rapid Toddy has just about clipped the back of it as Jack just drops off the back for some reason. I don't know if a Delta may have come up just at the end there, as the cars are still weaving at the front, but further back they do seem to be going a little bit quicker. They've just backed off now, so Cactus has got the power down, as Daz has, and there's gaps forming, so hopefully not too many shenanigans, as everybody seems to be strung quite well out by that restart. Nobody's got the jump on anybody else, specifically as it seems, so we should be good. Husky looking at Con here, maybe ranking in a bit further down the order, still looking to come back up after his qualifying lack of efforts, potentially, as opposed to efforts. But yeah, this gap's pretty much just kind of ebbing and flowing between drivers here. Gnagmer in the Red Bull, solo Red Bull in this race. Doesn't have to worry about the double stack in behind Esswinger here. Can he make a move into the hairpin, or at least try and get Esswinger to go deep? Esswinger does not go deep, and Gnagmer just has to drift it, but slowly go around the hairpin just to avoid any form of incident. Cactus losing out to Daz here. Daz gets him down the main first main straight, long straight, whatever you want to call it. RRT Rapid Con, so Daz gets the fastest lap for now. Rapid Con will be looking at the back of Connor W here. Husky S-Winger. And a few other drivers. Angler. Cyber Husky coming into the chicane. Oh, as Connor ahead takes a little bit of a detour. He's going slowly enough to be classified as giving up the, whatever the FIA call it, giving up the advantage or whatever. So Rapid Con on the back of him now. Can he make a move down the first main straight? Burning the RS, but he's not gaining, so he decides to turn it off. Husky is just going to sit back and watch. Connor through the chicane, and the other Connor just looking to follow him through. Holds it over to the left, and brakes. Goes to the right to try and get a better run on the exit. Connor really going slow through these, going even more slower through these slower sections than other drivers, but really kind of compensating in other parts of the track. And now I've got the hiccups. The Cyber Husky in the Alfa Romeo, just looking to see if something's going to happen. Toddy has left the session, and that seems to be a thing with Mr. Toddy. And we do that. Toddy, view gamer card, invite to game. There we go. That is that. And that is that. And oh dearie me, Con and Connor side by side, Aston and the Haas. Connor, Rapid Con just trying to leave his nose in there just so he gets the thing. Cyber Husky just watching this unfold. RT Rapid Con just has to lift to let Connor make the chicane. And now Cyber Husky is coming around the outside. Rapid Con late on the brakes, goes a little bit deep. Cyber Husky with a switchback, but unfortunately it's just too long of a corner to really make the switchback work there. Gnagmer also looking to make inways into this little bunch of cars here. Looks to be getting the drive out of the back of Cyber Husky here. Doesn't want to be tapping him up the back end though, as Husky will have to potentially lift for the car ahead. Gnagmer then with a much better drive out of the chicane, getting squeezed by Husky, then squeezes Husky back, and yeah, that's probably the best you can get in terms of two cars through that chicane. Gnagmer then looking for the other side of the track, as Husky just trying to keep, just tapping him a couple of times through that corner, but it's difficult to find your brakes. S-Winger also joining in the gaggle, as Husky's now lost out a second to Rapid Con ahead. S-Winger with the power, he's lost his ERS though, he's used it all up so far, and so will be struggling to make inroads as a couple of drivers into the pits. Connor W, Cactus. The Inters seem to be doing well enough to catch the eye of two of the front runners, so we'll see how well they do this lap. One lap could make all the difference in terms of getting the ability. That is definitely interweather, if I've ever seen interweather at all. So Gnagmer, you're almost having to look for the puddles now to really get the most out of those wet tyres. He gets a better exit off of the chicane again, and is side by side with Husky here. Husky is a lot more behind this time, and really doesn't make the best use of that corner. Gnagmer cuts the corner and comes out ahead, but Husky was the one that was kind of failed to yield there, really, as he was kind of 90% ahead and was left the space, really. Mushy just getting passed by Spinala there. Is that what happened? As Daz peels into the pits, any other driver's going to follow him now. As Con comes into the pits, Gnagmer carries on through the chicane. Cyber Husky on his tail also carries on. Esswinger carries on. Kimi Räikkönen, Tomcat also into the pits. 4 drivers into the pits just now. All going on to the Inters. The Inters should be pretty sweet. As Cactus flying along, will he come out? So Daz comes out, is ahead of Cactus, which he was to begin with. So Cactus has just lost maybe a second or two off of the back of Daz through coming out a little bit, but he might catch that back up as we go along. So it might just take a couple of secs for those tyres to come up to the optimum. Mushy getting passed by Daz there. So Mushy, alarm bells ringing. I've just been passed by an Inters driver. I should probably pit for Inters myself, is generally the way things go in races. If you get passed by an Inter, if you're passed by a better tyre, switch to that, is the general consensus. So we should see the rest of the wet tyre runners pit now. Gnagmer, is he coming into the pits? So Gnagmer into the pits, Husky into the pits, Esswinger into the pits, Spinala also into the pits. Mushy and El Drago still is out for another lap. And he's going for another lap on the wets here, which I would say is not really a great idea. He is just stays out ahead of the other drivers as well. So he stayed in P2. Do you stay on the wets until you can get to slicks? Is this where this is heading? Gnagmer and Connor trying to go side by side through the Vettel chicane. And Gnagmer gets ahead. Con has to yield. Husky on the fresher Inters. Everybody about the same on the Inters. Rapid Jack. Now that is how you do it, my son. Puts the Inters on early after his incident. Cools himself back to P4 with that early stop on the Inters. So the Inters, really, the earlier stopped, the better, really. For some reason, it seems to be on this game that, like, literally, even if you're wrong for 2 laps, the Inters make a hell of a difference once you get them going. And that has propelled Rapid Jack well up the order as El Drago makes his pit stop, and I would say he will lose out to pretty much the whole field here, apart from the obvious Toddy, as he gets moving, and he has just got cars passing him on the right hand side, and I think he will just come out on the end. It is a shorter run to the apex here coming out the pit lane, so he's just come out on the left hand side of Spinala. He's just come out ahead of him, going side by side with Kimi already. Decides to yield, which is the smart move, because you're on fresh rubber that you do not know what is going on. Mushy just struggling here for some reason. He's not getting with the upshift or throttle or something. Seems to be fixed there now. El Drago then just tucked in behind Kimi, P11 and P10. Further ahead, S-Winger. 2/10 off the back of Connor W, and this grid is literally, I didn't think it would be this close. The top three have just managed to start spreading their legs. That's maybe not the best use of words. The top three started stretching their legs, that's what I'm going for. S-Winger really trying to be late on the brakes through the chicane there. Get a good drive on Connor W, but failing Tomcat flicking in behind. We've got quite a few drivers picking up the penalties now, as the Inters give you that kind of lease of life into terms of being able to push, but it comes with the lack of traction still on the wet track, which leads you to make mistakes in terms of track limits. So watch it all rack up for Rapid Jack, and we'll see how many thousands he's on by the end of the race. S-Winger then got the drive, doesn't have the ERS to boot, and still tucked in behind Connor W. Won't have the best run on him. Tries to get a better line through the chicane, and he's got the run of him on the exit, tucked in behind, pulls to the left hand side, and Connor W trying to keep it up the inside, S-Winger round the outside, just keeping it tucked in, and Connor W yields, which is a good job, and now he's under threat from failing Tomcat, and just loses out. Straight line speed of Connor W is not going to allow him any chance to get through. He's just looking to get on the back of him there. Tomcat. Can he get a better run out of the hairpin? Oh, Connor's just bogging down a little bit. The straight line speed of the Aston Martin there. Probably running closer to a dry setup than failing Tomcat. That is why he's pulling away on the straights. Failing Tomcat. 2/10 behind. Oh, just keeping it out the back of him. I think Tomcat not really an issue there, as Connor W just being a bit overzealous on the brake pedal there, and Tomcat really needs to be getting past Connor W here, as cars ahead are starting to pull quite a few gaps appearing. And Tomcat needs to be getting himself up the order. El Drago, Kimi Raikkonen, the battle of the ages. Through the chicane we come, Ferrari on Haas. Tomcat with the fastest lap then, getting things going in the right direction. Tomcat definitely trying to get himself past Connor. Connor should be starting to kind of flip this around though, as the conditions come more and more to his setup, where the straight line speed is more effective than the corners, as he does lose the back end a little bit on the exit. Failing Tomcat won't be able to get the run on him, but he just needs to place the cut, and he goes a bit deep through there. Has to lift a little bit more than usual. Got the run. Oh, and the car is drifting around to the outside. Needs to get the exit. It's all about the exit, because if you let that Aston get up to speed, he will leave you. And you just, see, it just puts its foot down and it goes. And you almost need to hand him into a mistake. You don't hit him, but if you pressure him enough, he might just throw the back end with putting his foot down a little bit too much. On the hairpin now, you're up the inside, get your foot down. He's going to switch to the right, you switch to the left. And you weren't alongside, so that's totally fine. Hard actually goes to the right. Anyway, that is the racing line. Into the final chicane we go. And Connor W goes wide. Failing Tomcat has the power to go into turn 1, goes round the outside, and Connor W leaving him the room on the inside there. Well played, and Tomcat is through after that lengthy battle. Kimi Räikkönen is next on the menu, and we try and see if he can make his way through. Cactus picking up some penalties there as well. Husky is looking at the back of Rapid Con. Spinala picking up 3 seconds there. Cyber Husky S-Swinger within 1 second points over. Further back we have got a bit of a backing up again behind Connor W. Failing Tomcat just taking a little bit of time to get his bit underway. Kimi here looking at the back of Connor W. So everybody, the issue here is Rapid Jack's intermediate tyres might start looking a bit grumpy quite shortly. So he should be able to hold on. I'm not 100% sure we'll be looking at slick tyres, but those inters may be a little bit on the sad side. S-Swinger, Husky, further back Kimi and Spinala, El Drago as well and truly in the mix here. El Drago behind Spinala, he's in behind Kimi, he's in behind Connor W. Further ahead you got Husky and S-Swinger in behind Con. As they're coming down the straight then, see if anybody can make any interesting moves. If anything, when you're in the wet, the moves come in the corners and not in the is that Toddy's car? How has he managed to oh, he must have joined and he's still in. Spinala just getting to hold on a little bit behind Kimi then, and Husky on the back of Con. Toddy probably has this is going to be interesting. What's going to happen here? Goes on. And out the way. Just keep it out the way, son. Into the hairpin. Yeah. Just be careful. Rarati Rapjack. 3-second time penalty again. We're just gonna have a little gander at these penalties. Oh god, 18 seconds. I wish I hadn't looked. I think we can get rid of the tires. We know everybody's on the inters, right? Movers and shakers. Daz up 4. Big Cactus up 1. Jack up 13, but with all those penalties, we'll see him probably back at the bottom again. Ganagmer up 8. Con up 2. Husky up 1. S-Winger down 1. Tomcat 5 up. Connor W down 8. Kimi Räikkönen up 1. Spinala down 2. El Drago up 2. Mushi down 3. Toddy up 1 with those DNFs. And a couple of more penalties to be added to the situation. We got 3, 18, 3, 5, 3, 3, 6, 3, 6, 9. So Toddy picking up penalties at the back there as well. And we'll just leave that like that so it's out of the way. S-Winger, Husky, Con is your number 1. Oh, so Kimi must have lost out here somewhere, as Connor W has gapped him substantially here, and Espinala and El Drago are still tucked in behind. Daz with the new fastest lap of 1:20.58 something. Word. El Drago and Kitch. S-Winger. Husky and S-Winger is just still tucked in behind. Mushi is dropped well off the order with whatever the heck is going on with his car. Honestly, I have no idea what's happening with Mushi. It's still a solid car. He's still driving. Yeah, interesting. These little squabbles are not being resolved. They're just sat nose to tail. And Husky will be searching and praying that something comes up as he's gone deep, and that allows S-Winger to make the move up the inside. Cyber Husky on the exit though has a lot more power going for him. Doesn't have enough overspeed into the chicane to make any move substantial there, so he just went deep on the hairpin, and that just allowed S-Winger just to slip up the inside. And so Husky will dropping a place, and that allows S-Winger to be the new pounder of the back of RT Rapid Con. So Con here, penalty free, looking to just keep going on, keep plodding on, see how many positions he can make up when the deed is done, when the race is set and gone. See how many positions he can jump up the order. As you know, Rapid Jack will be falling like a brick to the bottom with all those penalties. Possibly might even pop him out the points if he doesn't start making more gaps. And his tyres will be getting sore. You can see that in the down the straights, dropping a couple of tenths on those around him. And Rapid Jack with another 3 seconds. I'm definitely not going to look at the penalties again, because that's 21, and I think I might have missed 1 or 2 as well. Husky picks up a time penalty as well. That'll pop him up to 609. I think he was only on 3, so that should be 6. But yeah, Rapid Con here, definitely looking to make the moves up the order with the penalties, even if he does lose out to the cars behind him. Trailing Tomcat with the distance ahead of him should allow him to prevent him from picking up too many more penalties. Connor W here coming up to the chicane as Toddy retiring? No, he's not retired in the pits. He's lost it just after the Wall of Champions down the main straight. He's well and truly out the way of everybody. And we'll see what happens here. We'll see if he's interested. It's free on 1,000. Husky. Swinger. On ahead. RT Big Cactus with a new... Oh, Cons picked up a 3-second penalty. The penalty-free Con picks up a penalty, but also picks up the fastest lap. As further ahead on track, Rapid Toddy is doing another short cross to cut the grass, and he's on the soft tyres, so that's just a little bit foolish in my opinion. I don't think we're quite there yet, maybe. Falling Tomcat's gone for the softs as well, so maybe we are just... Stay off the curbs though, like, if you're on slicks, those white lines and curbs stay wet for a hell of a lot longer, so you just want to stay off the curbs. Yeah, I think you can run slicks, especially the soft. He is just struggling, like, you can't use any... There you go. You can't put the throttle down on a white line. Just, no. It does not work like that. Failing Tomcat, driving tentatively on these soft tyres. Even Mushy will catch him now. Daz, fastest lap, enters. I mean, if you're setting fastest laps on the inters, you're still not into the realms of the slicks, really. You need to wait for the inters to be dropping off before the slicks will be the optimal tyre to be on. El Drago picks up 3 seconds time penalty, so we've only got 3 drivers here. Penalty free, which is Rapid Daz, Connor W, and the ever consistent Kimi Raikkonen 98, who is a lot further down than expected, but maybe Canada is not favourable to... Oh, and RT Rapid Con absolutely spins it out on the back straight in the middle of the circuit and punks it into the wall. No safety car. Car is still there, I believe, on the right hand side. There we go, there's the safety car. That is the latest safety car I've ever seen. About 5 drivers drove past him before it called. Safety car, safety car, safety car. I reckon it's time for slicks. By the time you go racing, the track should be dry enough for the slick tyres. Those of you wanting to stay out on inters, you're going to have to pit a couple of laps afterwards anyway. So really, it's worth the risk going on to those slicks. Anybody going for a fresh set of inters though would be a very left field. There you go, Ganagmar, left field thinking, and Cyber Husky. Fresh inters. Couple drivers opting for the softs. I think the fresh inters here. Oh, Spinala's gone for wets. Oh, that's gotta be... Unless it's gonna chuck it down with rain again. I'm not like the Division 3 commentators. I do remember that there's weather. But unless it's going to pish it down with rain again, those wets are not going to be optimum. You've got half the field on softs, pretty much the other half on the inters, and RT Rapid Jack has lost it, so out of the pits, gone round a couple of corners, there he's banged the wall on the right hand side. And that is what happens when you put your foot down with soft tyres on a wet track. Now, the soft tyre, the track will be fine for slicks when the safety car comes in. It is not fine for the slicks right now. And you really have to be tentative driving around this track on these slick tyres while it is still a bit damp. But give it a couple of laps and we should be absolutely fine with the tyres as El Drago just pops past Connor as he goes wide off the track, which is totally valid, but it's just got to watch that they haven't returned to the track by the time you actually get past them, because then it will give you the penalty. And Connor W pits, so will he go for the fresh inters? Kimi Raikkonen is going to stay out and just work these softs. So you got to get the softs up to temperature as well as drying off the track. It's a double-edged sword, and it takes a lot of work, but this track will come to the soft drivers eventually, so it's a bit of a 50-50 as to whether these inters or the softs will be at optimum. Saudi picking up some penalties there. He's still a lap down, maybe 2 laps down by the time we get going with the safety car. I think you'll be able to join the back, so he'll still be just the one, I believe. So these gaps will be decreasing, I think. So the fresh inners are going to be like rockets when we get going again. Daz might drop a couple of places. Those softs are going to be slippery. Daz stays out. So Gnagner, S Swinger on the 16 lap hold inters comes off. Husky, and so they're going for the softs as well, probably. El Drago for the softs as well. That track is almost bone dry now. And Connor W will also come in for the softs as well. Yep. And Cactus, now this is interesting. Cactus does have, he could have potentially have pitted there. And that's Winger pitted as well, so he could have pitted and only lost 1 place to Daz. If he would have had to have known that the other cars behind him were going to pit. And they're all going to catch him by the time we get going around the corner, so he's missed the boat. If he had some form of clairvoyance, forethought, he would have gone, maybe they might pit, maybe I should pit too. And then he would have been P2, fresh softs. But he stayed out on the inters. He's done a Hamilton. I think Hamilton did it. Somebody's done it, where they've stayed out on the inters. Everybody is on the... Oh, it was the start of a race. Everybody pitted on the... Bloody hell. That was when Hamilton was on the grid by himself. Everybody else pitted for slicks, and he was sat on the start-finish line on a set of inters looking like an absolute numpty. As he said, oh, Bono, it's absolutely bone dry, and I'm still on the bloody inters. And Cactus then, he's just going to try and... The safety cars come in here, so you've got cars that haven't caught up to the back of the field, which is what happens when they pit under safety car. The safety car doesn't necessarily wait for you, especially if you're doing 2 pit stops. It will definitely not wait for you to get back round. And Daz just being tentative enough. Cactus, can he get a decent lap in to make enough of a gap that when he pits he doesn't lose too much? At the moment, Spinala is 10 seconds off the back of El Drago, so if he can make a few seconds he could potentially not come out in that gap. Oh, and big Cactus, that is Inter's tyre on a dry, pretty much dry track. Very old Inters as well. You just do not have them in the window, operating window, to be doing anything. Spinala's dropped off crazy amounts here. Oh no, that's just a timing glitch. So Cactus will hit this lap and will drop to P11, most possibly. Connor W on the fresh inters will be needing to pit as well. Softs to the end is the absolute optimum strat now. Cactus into the pits at the end of that straight. S Swinger then. We've got a little bit of a fight to the end. Daz penalty free, so he can afford to not be too aggressive and can be pretty cautious with drivers around him. S-Winger, Gnagmer 2 and 3. S-Winger picks up another 3-second penalty. Husky 1.3. Connor W fastest lap on the intermediates. Blimmin' heck, what's going on there? He can probably take those inters to the end if he's still being able to pump the laps in like that. El Drago then. What's going on? Toddy just getting in the way. A big cactus there, possibly. El Drago. Into the hairpin we go. Tucked in behind Kimi Räikkönen. So Kimi Räikkönen, 98, penalty free. And he's sat P5 behind Cyber Husky, Gnagmer and S-Winger, and I believe Toddy has lost it yet again. So Husky just needs to make sure he stays in touching distance of the cars ahead. I'm just going to have a gander at the penalties. So 3, 6 and 6. So he just needs to stay within 3 seconds of Husky, 6 seconds of S-Winger, and he is banging in a P2. And Daz obviously going to stick with his P1. El Drago Spinala with 12 seconds, so he will drop behind Mishi Tomcat. Finish line, I would say. Connor W is 3.8 back, so he'll be struggling to make any gains there. Toddy with 24 seconds of penalties. Oh, and Connor W's banged it into the wall. And he's DNF'd. Those inters on the dry track just not giving him the grip. We're not into physical traction now, we're into sticky cohesion, not slick tires is where we're at here. Inters should have been swapped off. He got away with his little shenanigans. S-Winger then pumping in the fastest lap, puts him right on the tail of Daz, but it's too little too late as Daz is penalty free. And is this Mishi lost it on the start finish straight? It is. He was looking good for jumping a few drivers there and on penalty countback, but he has just dropped it himself, so that might not be what happens in the end. Spinala has retired just on the right hand side in through the Vettel chicane. There you go, there's his car all tucked up in the corner, and that will not make any difference to the race. It will be green flag. There he goes, it is gone. DRS enabled then. That is your guarantee. It is a dry track. And S-Winger then. Right on the back, through the chicane. Gnagmer looking as well. So S-Wing, I'm just going to leave these penalties up. Gnagmer on the 9, S-Winger on the 6. So Gnagmer really just wants to get up the road, you know. I need to get away so I don't drop so far down. S-Winger on the 6. Kimi 3.1 behind Husky. So Kimi really needs to try and get within that 3-second window of Cyber Husky. I mean, they are going to pick up from Gnagmer. Maybe Räikkönen can just hold out. El Drago, 6 seconds of penalties. Tomcats, a little. Oh, Cactus and Mushi both picking up another 3 seconds in this closing lap. That is not what you want to be doing. Gnagmer just struggling to get the power down here, and you may as well settle for where you are, because there's no point creating an incident through the final chicane when you're gonna be dropped down anyway. So through we go, final chicane, And it's Rapid Daz takes the win. S-Winger with the 6 seconds will drop down. Husky jumps to second. Kimi, will he jump to third? He does. So it's Daz, Kimi, S-Winger, Ganagmer P5, El Drago P6. Feeling Tomcat was too far down, so he will finish in 7th. RRT, Big Cactus, finishes in 8th. And Ushi will come across the line for P9. Well. Driver of the day, Kimi Räikkönen 98. Definitely podium from where, I mean, he didn't even make it into Q3, I believe. So, good race from him. RRT Rapid Daz then getting the points on the board, and apparently it's raining again now. This game knows nothing. So, we'll just invite to party. Oh, you invite to party. And Kimi Räikkönen invite to party. And I will try not to laugh. Right, as you're joining, boys, get your included audio. Hopefully the box is there, and hopefully I don't get booted out my own party. So I'm just going to take a little screenshot of this before it buggers off. Live streaming, so it's not really an issue. Shall we... Oh no, I've got to finish with Kimi. Daz, kick us off. How did your race go? Started 5th on the grids. A few interesting cars ahead of you on dry setups in the wet, which threw a bit of a spanner into the works. How did your race go? Did you expect the weather to do what it did?
I mean, not really, no. Yeah, it's really wet, obviously full wets. Got a really good start. Managed to get past a few people. Yeah, went to Inters, pretty normal, and then on the dries, everyone pitted in front of me, which was quite weird. Not like everyone pit at the same time. Cactus didn't get no message saying to pit, so that's why he stayed out. In the end, that really cost him the win. Yeah, it's not much to say. Really good race. After the win.
Yeah, Mr. Cyber Husky, one of the drivers that did a funky pit onto the fresh inters and go, actually, I don't want to be on fresh inters, I want to be on softs, and pitted again. How did your race go? Did you think the weather was going to do that? Obviously not if you went onto the inters and then onto the softs. Inters definitely wasn't the tyre to be on at the end, as Cactus span out on his 20 lap old inters, and somebody else, Connor W, on fresh inters went into the wall. So how was it for you? With did those inters not feel right?
No, I was just watching what everybody was doing around. I actually went in to clear my 5-second penalty, and obviously I didn't know what the track was going to be like, so went onto the inters, went round. It felt like it was sticking very well. But watching sort of the others on the softs going, it was like, okay, they're having a good time, and everybody started pitting, so we decided to pit as well, and obviously it paid off in the end.
Yeah, so just once after that safety car, where people splitted into inters and softs, Connor W did manage to pump in the fastest lap on the inters, while everybody else in the field was on the softs, which was a bit random, but yeah, that came back to bite him on the next lap or so, where the inters just weren't there. Mr. Kimi Räikkönen, did you think you would be on the podium after quali? After what had happened in quali, did you think you were going to still make it onto the podium? No. Okay. Oh, he says more. Yeah, so good points for you versus your closest title rival, Mr. Neo, who dropped it a bit earlier on in the race. So should help you stick to that top spot. And yeah, Daz is now going to be rocketing up the order as well. And of course, Husky slowly chipping away. He's like the George Russell, just kind of chucking those points in every week, just slowly catching. So yeah, my prediction was a bit left field. I said Kimi, Husky, and S-Winger, and to be fair, that was 2, 3, and 4. So I wasn't a million miles away. But I had no idea about the weather either. So I mean, I literally just plucked that out of my arse. So that's it for the stream. That was Euro Div 1. Hopefully next week we have a few more than 3 viewers in the thing. There wasn't much going on in the chat. But as you watch this back throughout the week, hope you've enjoyed it. It was one hell of a race. There was not a time to breathe. Everybody was within a second of each other for 90% of the race. So it was a good race to watch. Euro Div 1 Round 5. And we'll see you next week for Round 6 at some track that I can't remember what it is. Saudi Arabia, that's it. Next week at Saudi. So see you there. Ta-ra. And I need to find the button to turn off the stream.